Hello, hello! My name is Callista, and welcome back to Dragon Age Inquisition. In the last episode, we were speaking with Cowl, we spoke with Josephine, we only had a couple of people left to talk to. Now that very quickly, Josephine, there wasn't anything else you wanted to tell me, was there?
Inquisitor, is it true? Is the mark on your hand magic cast by Corypheus?
Corypheus claimed it's a spell gone wrong.
I wanted to think it was a blessing. A sign the Maker was returning to his creation. How credulous of me.
I believe... Nope. The Maker isn't of this world. It might be the Maker's will. The Anchor's magic, not... Again, just let's... Can we stop this talk of divinity? I'm not divine. I'm just very lucky or very unlucky.
The Anchor's nothing more special than a misfired spell.
At least you had the good fortune to take it from Corypheus. Does it hurt? The anchor, that is.
I'll be fine. I'll cope. It feels strange. Ooh. I'm inclined to be honest. I think this doodad on her hand, it both intrigues her and freaks her out. Because she's not a mage. She's a warrior. She doesn't have any first-hand experience with magic. And so now she basically has this permanent spell on her hand that it's kind of like, it's like she's hijacking a radio broadcast. She doesn't really know how to use it. She's just kind of guessing and trying to get it to work. That kind of thing. Yeah, I'm drawn to an honest answer here rather than just being like, oh yeah, it's fine, da-da-da. I think with a lot of the emotions she's feeling, she'll put on a smile, she'll try and be brave, she might have an outburst, now and again, her hissing at Cassandra, like, are you insane? They think I'm holy, what the fuck? Like, she might have that every now and again, but I think for the most part, she kind of feels like, I have to be brave. This magical thing on her hand, though, how do I put it? It's like, this thing could be killing her. For all she knows, she has no idea what it's capable of, and she doesn't want to feel a twinge of pain, and then, ignore it, think, oh, it's probably nothing, then it's like, oh crap, I've dissolved. I think she'd rather be honest and say, like, this thing, it feels kind of weird.
It's not pain. It's more like my nerves go on fire.
It sounds most unpleasant.
Yeah. And again, considering that's not something Aenor has any knowledge or experience of, I think, if anyone were to ask her, hey, how's your hand doing? I think she'd be inclined to be honest, It's like if, for example, let's say you find a new mole on your body, and it doesn't look right. Go to your doctor. Go to your doctor. You're not wasting their time. Just go. Compared to that mole, it don't look right. I'll just ignore it and hope for the best. Aenor wants to be the former. She's like, I'm keeping an eye on this thing. If anything weird happens, I'm gonna go to Solus. If anyone asks me about it, I'm gonna be honest. I'm not gonna try and, suppress this or out like that. I'm keeping an eye on it.
A situation requires your attention, Inquisitor. Noble Chantry loyalists in the city of Jadar are spreading accusations that you're responsible for the Divine's death. They're unusually organized. I recommend we send people to Jadar to deal with the matter.
Okay. Yeah, can they be reasoned with?
Will anyone even believe me if I claim I didn't kill the Divine?
Perhaps if they learn about your heroics. We should emphasize how you stopped the breach devouring the sky. Even in Jadar, it may win you a few admirers.
And why are the nobles interested?
What does the nobility gain by saying I murdered Justinia?
A scapegoat to begin with, but I wonder if the Grand Clerics are at work. Those immediately eligible to be divine died at the Conclave. The ones remaining were not as favored. They may look upon you as a rival for influence.
Let's send some diplomats. We need some propaganda. We need a show of force. Definitely not this one. I'm drawn to diplomats. I think... Yeah, I've said this before. Aenor is very much a let's sit down, let's talk it out, let's not do anything rash. If it comes to blows, then it comes to blows, but let's try and avoid that. I guess we could accomplish that with propaganda, but then if someone finds out, then that could reflect badly on us. Yeah, let's send some diplomats.
Let's send some ambassadors to convince Jada I'm not a monster in disguise.
Excellent. I believe there is much to be gained by winning them over.
Okay.
What may I do for you?
Okay, there we go.
What do the people make of us?
We've gathered many favors among the nobility. They will be gently reminded of this.
Do we have any guess?
Any visiting dignitaries I should watch out for?
You may see the Countess Lutetia in the halls. A lovely woman, but her conversations tend towards the unusual. She's the patron of Orlay's greatest naturalists. The Countess's particular passion is collecting butterflies.
That doesn't sound unusual.
She goes into great detail about preserving them. It seems to involve large amounts of chemicals and pins.
Okay then. Good for her, I guess. Now then, let's see. The others should be... Yes, we can get in through here. Okay, Solus, Ooh, there's something we can read.
What was this place? So much room for whatever was here.
Okay, request for resources on the Fade. Regarding your request, as a noted partner of the Inquisition, Lady Montillier has ensured our contacts are quick to reply. The few titles on hand accompany this letter, with the remaining en route from libraries in Val Royeaux and surrounding. Archivist Bannon. Fade and Spirits Mysterious by Brother Ferdinand Genitivi. An Enchanter's Observations by Anonymous. The Unholy Grace, author unknown. On Silver Chords by First Enchanter Irving. Hey. Wisdom Failed, the Hedge Mage, collected by First Enchanter Heron. Translations of the El Ilan Excavation, collected by Brother Ferdinand Genitivi. Tevinter Journeys Inward by Archon Vius. Our Orlesian Heart by formerly Sister Laudine. Speaking to the Other, a translation by Lady Ginn. On Lyrium, a Templar's Memoir by Sir Treus. Dalish Myth and Collected Truths Against, collected by Sister Patrine. Elvahan Dies Falsis, Trio Metod Dracis, untranslated, author unknown. Okay, yeah, that's not Elvish. I would assume that is Tevene. That looks like Latin to me, and I believe Tevene is based off of Latin. There are two more pages of titles listed beneath. Flippin' heck. My goodness. Okay, we can't get out that way. Oh, hello. Don't mind if I do. The Rotunda and the Fresco. Sister Liliana, as per your request, I have made a thorough examination of the fresco adorning the Rotunda. I first attempted to clarify its intent with Messer Solus. Forgive me, I know he is not titled within the structure of the Inquisition, but the more I learn of his experience, the more awkward I feel not using a formal honorific. On the mural, all Messer would say is, Skyhold is her fortress, meaning of course the Inquisitor. These are her actions. He is, of course, correct. The subject of each edition is self-evident. On the medium and method, it is elven fresco, pigment and plaster, and it is grand. I have rarely been privileged to observe such skill as it is applied. It is considered with long periods of study before the image emerges, whole cloth and with certainty. It speaks of how I imagine elves view their world, and the measured nature of their step. I should expect such competence from Messer, given his probable years of study, but it is still an amazing work, demonstrating an art with few living practitioners, even among the Dalish. Archivist Banner. I think we may have picked that up a little bit early, because as you can see, the walls are bare. That or Archivist Bannon, he saw the future. He was like, I see the things that Solus shall paint, and they are beautiful. Yeah, we'll get back to that. Now then, Dorian. Hello, buddy.
Brilliant, isn't it? One moment you're trying to restore order in a world gone mad. That should be enough for anyone to handle, yes? Then, out of nowhere, an archdemon appears and kicks you in the head. What? You thought this would be easy? No, I was just hoping you wouldn't crush our village like an anthill. Sorry about that. Archdemons like to crush, you know. Can't be helped. Am I speaking too quickly for you?
I was enjoying the show. We're not going to flirt with him. We're all frightened. Not at all. You're boring me. Ooh. I'm drawn to this. He's frightened. He's frightened. He's kind of taking it out on us. This feels a little bit mean. Just like, we're all frightened, Dorian. Why are you complaining? So, yeah, I don't think she'd say that.
You don't need to worry about me. I can keep up.
Yes, I noticed that.
Did you know?
Certainly. If you were a slack-jawed yokel, you'd already be dead. I always assumed the Elder One behind the Venatori was a Magister. But this is something else completely. In Tevinter, they say the Chantry's tales of Magisters starting the Blight are just that. Tales. But here we are. One of those very Magisters, a dark spawn.
Indeed. Doesn't Corypheus look like a certain other character from Awakening? Doesn't he look like the architect? Do you think there's a connection there, perhaps? Yeah, so you'll say that the Chantry is lying, then?
Who does the Imperium say started the Blight?
You know how it is. Not us. They say Darkspawn were always there. Magisters and the Blight aren't even related. Is that a surprise? No one wants to admit they shit the bed. But if Corypheus is one of the Magisters who entered the Black City and he's Darkspawn, what other explanation is there?
You seem upset. He could be lying. You were deceived. He could be lying. Why would he lie? Corypheus literally has no reason to lie. Like, his entire speech can be boiled down to, I have nothing left to lose. Fuck the world. Fuck the lot of yous. I'ma be a god now. Like, Corypheus's speech can be boiled down to that. He has no reason to lie. I know that Mother Giselle was like, oh, maybe it's a lie. He tells himself so that he can sleep at night. Fuck that noise. He has no reason to lie. And I think that would have crossed through Aenor's brain. You were deceived. I'm assuming that is, you were deceived by Tevinter. How could you be so stupid? This seems rather foolish. You seem upset. Of course he's upset. He's just found out that everything he thought was true may not be true. That, his country is responsible for the Blights and Darkspawn. Of course he's going to be upset. But compared to the other two, this is the one I find least bad, shall we say.
Why does that make you angry?
Because the Imperium is my home. I knew what I was taught couldn't be the whole truth, but I assumed there had to be a kernel of it, somewhere. But no, it was us all along. We destroyed the world.
You're not responsible. It's not destroyed yet. Why whine about it? Yet you're not responsible. You aren't Tevinter.
You didn't do anything. Those men did. 1,000 years ago.
True, except that one of them is up and walking around right now. Not to mention I have idiot countrymen who would happily follow him down that path again. No one will thank me, whatever happens. No one will thank you either. You know that, yes?
Nobody knows that. No one likes a pessimist. I don't need their thanks. Oh, I don't think... I feel so badly for Aenor right now. I feel so badly for her, because I've played Trespasser. I've played Aenor in Trespasser. Aenor is one of the 4 Inquisitors I play. I've played all of them through to, the end of Trespasser. I have completed their stories. And so knowing what is said in Trespasser, I feel really badly for Aenor, because I do think in her heart she's thinking, all of this stress I am putting myself through, this feeling like I am constantly drowning, it'll be worth it. It'll be worth it if everyone is safe, if everyone is happy, and at the end of this, we'll have made the world a better place, and everyone will be happy. Right? That's what'll happen. Oh. I said this in my Dragon Age 2 playthrough. I do tend to associate elements with my Wardens and my Inquisitors and Hawk. Artin was earth, solid, stable, but also quite proud and cold. Amelia, she was water. She was a turbulent ocean being thrashed by violent storms. She was pure emotion. And Aenor is like the air. She is... She's trying to keep everyone's spirits up. She's trying to keep everyone hopeful and happy, and it's taking so much out of her, but she's trying. She is trying her hardest. And I'm like, ooh, that little breeze is going to be thrown off course by a tornado, and it makes me sad. Oh, girl. Yeah, I think she's like, you can't say that. You don't know that for certain.
We don't know what will happen. Nobody does.
An optimist! Such a rare breed. I've stumbled upon a unicorn. All I know is this. Corypheus needs to be stopped. Men like him ruined my homeland. I won't stand by and let him ruin the world. Oh, and congratulations on that whole leading the Inquisition thing, by the way.
Thanks, Dorian.
Anything interesting?
A letter regarding Felix, Alexius' son. He went to the Magisterium, stood on the Senate floor and told them of you. A glowing testimonial, I'm informed. No news on the reaction, but everyone back home is talking. Felix always was as good as his word.
Was?
He's dead. The Blight caught up with him.
Oh. Yeah, Felix, he seemed like a good man. He seemed kind.
Are you alright?
He was ill, and thus on borrowed time anyhow.
That doesn't mean you can't regret his death.
I know. Felix used to sneak me treats from the kitchens when I was working late in his father's study. Don't get into trouble on my behalf, I tell him. I like trouble, he'd say. Tevinter could use more mages like him. Those who put the good of others above themselves.
What? Were you two involved? Oh. I don't know. Aenor never asked Liliana if she and Justinia were fucking. She never asked that because it was none of her business. What does it matter if they were involved? Whether they were involved or they weren't, they were clearly very close. They were clearly very good friends, if not more. I don't think it's just none of her business. And for anyone who is wondering, who maybe hasn't played this before, Dorian will say that he had too much respect for Alexius, so he wasn't going to seduce his son. So they were not involved. Obviously, Aenor doesn't know that, but she wouldn't ask. I don't think she'd ask. It is none of her business. What about yourself? You might be idealizing him. Follow his example. He's literally just received word that he's dead. Like, that seems like a very dickheadish thing to do, to say. Yeah, what about you? You're talking about him, but what about you?
You make it sound like he was a better person than you.
What a mad thing to say. Few people are better than I. Very well, a better person, clearly, not nearly as handsome. Thankfully, Felix wasn't the only decent sort kicking around Thedas.
Oh, Dorian! Thank you. What is this? Oh, Cullen. Cullen has something to say. Okay, I'll get to you eventually, but...
Something you need?
Nope.
I should go.
Try not to kill anyone without me.
I'll try, but no promises. And Fiona, and there's the research table. I have so much research for you. I have so much research. The Veil. I detest the notion that the Veil is some manner of invisible curtain that separates the world of the living from the world of the spirits. Whether it be called the Fade or the Beyond is a matter of racial politics I refuse to indulge in at the moment. There is no this side and that side when it comes to the Veil. One cannot think of it as a physical thing or a barrier or even a shimmering wall of holy light. Thank you very much for that image, your perfection. Think of the Veil instead as opening one's eyes. Before you opened them, you saw our world as you see it now. Static, solid, unchanging. Now that they are open, you see our world as the spirits see it. Chaotic, ever-changing. A realm where the imagined and the remembered have as much substance as that which is weird. Whoops, let's try that again. Now that they are open, you see our world as the spirits see it. Chaotic, ever-changing. A realm where the imagined and the remembered have as much substance as that which is real. More, in fact. A spirit sees everything as defined by will and memory, and this is why they are so very lost when they cross the Veil. In our world, imagination has no substance. Objects exist independently of how we remember them or what emotions we associate with them. Mages alone possess the power to change the world with their minds, and perhaps this forms the nature of a demon's attraction to them. Who can say? Regardless, the act of passing through the Veil is much more about changing one's perceptions than a physical transition. The Veil is an idea. It is the act of transition itself, and it is only the fact that both living beings and spirits find the transition difficult that gives the Veil any credence as a physical barrier at all. From A Dissertation on the Fade as a Physical Manifestation by Marino, Senior Enchanter of the Minratha Circle of Magi, 655 Steel. Very interesting. Fiona?
Greetings, Inquisitor. That is your title now, yes? I should thank you. The way things ended in Redcliffe, you could have demanded anything you wished. Yet you chose to make us equal partners. I was not expecting that.
I believe in your cause. The mages are useful. You're not equal partners. Oh, no. Again! I don't know how this is gonna come out. I really don't know how this is gonna come out. This seems so cold. Oh, you're useful. And I've said this before, Aenor doesn't want to leave the mages in a worse position than when she found them. She does genuinely care about the mages. Please. Please don't let this be dodgy.
You rebelled for good reason.
I'm pleased to hear you say that, Inquisitor. I've been a Grey Warden, Grand Enchanter, leader of a rebellion, and now I am none of those things. Odd where fate takes you, as you're no doubt well aware.
Okay, that wasn't so bad. That was not so bad. I can deal with that. You rebelled for good reason. I do think Aenor would say, yeah, the mages were being put upon, they were being abused. It wasn't, fuck the circles shouldn't exist. Okay, yeah, happy with that. We haven't actually been able to have a full conversation with Fiona, I believe, yeah. Yeah, you were a Grey Warden?
You were once a Grey Warden.
Mine is an unusual circumstance, Inquisitor. Normally one is part of the Order until death. But long ago I found myself stripped of what made me a Warden. They tried to reinitiate me, but nothing worked. Nor could they figure out how it happened. So I was sent to the Circle of Magi, the first Warden ever to be kicked out. Quite the achievement.
Basically, if you want to know what happened, Fiona fucked a Therin. That's basically what happened. Marek's magical penis took away her Grey Warden abilities. She got pregnant with Alistair, and I guess the blight must have been drawn to the baby. I guess it's kind of tricky. But the Therin line does have dragon blood in it, so it could have been, you know, obviously this fetus is forming, it's got dragon blood, maybe the blight was attracted to that, and so then obviously she gives birth to Alistair, and then she realized, oh shit, I can't sense Darkspawn anymore, what the heck? When she says they tried to reinitiate me, obviously they put her through the joining again and again and again. It ain't working, she's just drinking Darkspawn blood, because why not? It's not killing her, but it's not making her a Grey Warden. She's basically immune to it now, because Alistair. That probably does also explain why Alistair passed the joining. He had already been... What's the word I'm looking for? He had already been exposed to the blight. He had probably built up a resistance or an immunity to it because he was exposed to it in vitro. Is that the correct word I'm looking for? He had been exposed to the virus whilst in the womb. So, I do find that very interesting.
You sound happy about it.
Becoming a Warden seemed like a dream when I was first conscripted. Towards the end, however, my brothers and sisters, they felt I had somehow cheated death. I was glad to leave. It also made me unique in the Circle. I had an opportunity to do more than I ever could as a Warden.
And you used that opportunity to start the rebellion.
You mean you began the Mage Rebellion?
I pushed for our vote to free the Circles of Magi, but I cannot claim sole responsibility for what followed. Still, despite all the chaos, I would do it again. What happened had to happen.
And I think that's where Aenor would be like, it's the chaos. That's what Aenor doesn't agree with. It's all of the death and destruction and chaos. The circles, they need change, they need reform. It's just such a shame that that couldn't have been done peacefully, if that makes sense. I'm going to leave the other questions for a later date. Is everything well?
I trust everything is well with the mages.
We're mostly relieved. An alliance with the Inquisition offers security. Although, who knows for how long?
Oh, don't you worry, Chuck.
I'll leave you
It'll
to
be
it.
reet. Alrighty then, and with that, I am just about out of time for this episode. In the next one, we'll go have a chat with Liliana and with Solus. But until then, please remember to like if you enjoyed, leave a comment below, and if you wanted to subscribe, it would be very much appreciated. I've been Callista. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next episode.